My dear students of class 3, today I am here to take your English class. Now, I am going to explain you the story The Lucky Shoemaker from Reader. So please take out your reader and open at page 50, that is Unit 8. It is a well-known fairy tale by Jacob Grimm and Wilhelm Grimm. This is a short and very sweet story about a Christmas gift. In fact, it is one of the very few traditional fairy tales with Christmas theme. The story is about a poor shoemaker who received much needed help from two young helpful little men or elves. He and his wife also decided to give a gift in return. Anyway, let me tell you the whole story that you must listen carefully. Once there lived a shoemaker. He lived with his wife. He became very poor. He made excellent shoes and worked quite diligently, quite hard. But even so, he couldn't earn enough money to support himself and his family. He had nothing left but just enough leather to make one pair of shoes. He became so poor that he couldn't even afford to buy the leather he needed to make shoes. Finally, he had only enough to make one last pair. Now, what did he do? He cut out the shoes at night in order to start stitching them early next morning. He was a pious man, means religious person, and so every day he prayed before he went to bed. The next morning, he went about to start work on the cutout leather. Means next morning he had to complete making the pair of shoes. But to his surprise, what did he find? He found two perfectly stitched shoes standing on the table. He got really surprised to see so perfectly stitched shoes. They seemed to be the work of a master cobbler. Now, who is a cobbler? A cobbler is a person whose job is making and mending shoes. The shoes were made so perfectly that he knew he couldn't have produced a better pair himself. Soon after, a customer bought the shoes. The shoes were so beautiful that it got a customer in no time, and he bought them at double their usual price. Why? Because they fitted him very well. So the shoemaker had sold it at double price and therefore had enough money. So he bought leather to make 4 pair of shoes. So now he has sufficient money to buy sufficient leather. As usual, the shoemaker cut out the leather to stitch the shoes next morning and went to sleep. But once again, means one more time, he was astonished, means greatly surprised when he woke up next morning. What did the shoemaker see? The shoemaker saw 2 beautifully stitched pair of shoes on the table. The shoemaker and his wife were both curious. They wanted to know who was doing their work for them and doing it so well. Soon they got customers for those beautiful shoes. This continued for many nights. One night close to Christmas, the shoemaker cut out the shoes. Then he said to his wife, "Let us sit up tonight and see who is doing us this service." Now they were desperate to know the fact, so they hid themselves. Where did they hide themselves? They hid themselves behind some cardboard boxes. The shoemaker's wife lit a lamp. She lighted a lamp. They kept waiting. They were waiting curiously for things to happen. Suddenly, what did they see? They saw two little men hop onto the table. How did the two little men look? The two little men wore no clothes, means they were without clothes, and they were very small and delicate looking. Now, what did they do? The two little men started cutting, stitching, and hammering with swift hands and fingers. So they were making shoes very fast. Soon the shoes were ready and the two men vanished, means disappeared through the window. The shoemaker and his wife couldn't believe what they saw. It was something very much strange and incredible for them. The shoemaker's wife was a very good and kind woman. She wanted to do something for the little men who had made them rich. She noticed that they didn't have clothes. It made her sad, so she decided to sew clothes for them. The next day, she made little shirts, coats, and breeches for the two little men. Breeches are trousers reaching below the knee. That night, what did the couple do? Couple means husband and wife. Do you have any idea? They didn't keep the cutout leather on the table. Instead of the cutout leather, they placed the gifts on the table. Then they hid behind the cardboard boxes. Again, after lighting up the lamp, as usual, the two little men came and took up the clothes from the table. Now, what did the two little men do? They wore the shirts, the coats, and the breeches. They were obviously very happy and danced about on the table in great joy. They danced and jumped about for some time and then they vanished, means disappeared through the door. After that, they never returned. The shoemaker never saw them again. However, his bad days came to an end. The shoemaker did indeed continue to prosper, but he and his wife always remembered the good little men or elves who had helped them during the hard times. So, did you learn anything from the story? The moral of the story is that hard work is the secret of making dreams and wishes come true. This story shows that good things come from working hard. The shoemaker and his wife worked hard and they were rewarded by the little men or the elves coming to help them out in their shop. So, what kind of person was the shoemaker? Yes, the shoemaker was an honest and hard-working man. His wife was really a good and a kind woman. She expressed her gratitude, means thankfulness, by offering gifts to the little men or the elves who had helped them in need. We should have that gratefulness. The root of joy and happiness is gratefulness. Gratitude or gratefulness is the healthiest of all human emotions. Showing gratitude is one of the simplest yet most powerful things humans can do for each other. So let us be grateful to people who make us happy. Thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude, and gratitude is the completion of thankfulness. Thankfulness may consist merely of words. Gratitude is shown in acts. The shoemaker's wife made clothes for the little men as return gift. Her thought, her action show her gratefulness, her gratitude. We should never forget those who help us when we are in need. So, hope you enjoyed the story. Now, underline the spellings that you must learn. First one, shoemaker. Poor, nothing, left, just, enough, leather, pair, shoes. Next paragraph, night, start, stitching, next, morning, pious, prayers, surprise, perfectly, stitched, seamed, master, cobbler. Followed? Okay. Next line, customer, bought, double, usual, price, fitted, enough, money. Astonished, beautifully, curious, Christmas, tonight, service, themselves, behind, cardboard, lamp, suddenly, hop, o, clothes, small, delicate, cutting, stitching, hammering, swift, hands, fingers, soon, stood, vanished, through, window. Now last page, that is page 52. Believe, good, kind, wanted, something, rich, thought, shirts, coats, breeches, couple, gifts, instead of, danced, great, joy, never, again, however, happiness, prosperity. Now let me repeat the spellings quickly. Shoemaker, poor, nothing, left, just, enough, leather, pair, shoes, night, start stitching next morning, pious prayers, surprise perfectly, stitched standing, seamed master, cobbler. Next line, customer, bought, double, usual, price, fitted, enough money, astonished, beautifully, curious, Christmas, tonight, service, themselves, behind, cardboard, lamp, suddenly, hop, o, clothes, small, delicate, cutting, stitching, hammering, swift, hands, fingers, soon, stood, vanished, through, window, believe, good, kind, wanted, something, rich, thought, shirts, coats, breeches, couple, gifts, instead of, danced, great, joy, never, again, however, happiness, prosperity. Now let's move on to the word meanings. Please learn the word meanings given in the book. First one, astonished. Astonished. Astonished means greatly surprised. Greatly surprised. Next one, pious, religious. Religious. Next, curious. Curious means eager to know. Eager to know. Next one, delicate. Small and cute. Small and cute. Breeches. Trousers reaching below the knee. Trousers reaching below the knee. Prosperity, wealth and success. Prosperity, wealth and success. Followed? Okay. Now I'd like to give some more word meanings. First one, enough, sufficient or adequate. Sufficient or adequate. Perfectly. Perfectly. Flawlessly or excellently. Flawlessly or excellently. Cobbler. A mender or maker of shoes and often of other leather goods. I repeat, a mender or maker of shoes and often of other leather goods. Next, customer. Customer, a person who buys goods or services from a shop or business. A person who buys goods or services from a shop or business. Next, usual. Usual means normal or habitual. Normal or habitual. Next, swift. Happening quickly. Happening quickly. Vanished, disappeared. Disappeared. Couple. Here husband and wife. Here husband and wife. So please learn all these spellings and word meanings. and go through the story. Go through this beautiful story. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.